This morning, most of Florida is bracing for Hurricane Milton that has once again strengthened to a Category 5 storm. Take a look at this cell phone video. Mass evacuations on I-75 headed north out of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis spoke yesterday urging residents to get out of the storm's path.
You should be executing your plan now. If you're going to get out now. You have time. Time will be running out very shortly if you wait any longer. Of course, there's a lot of mandatory evacs that have been done.
Shelters open for residents staying behind this morning. Our Angelina Salcido is on Bayshore Boulevard in Tampa for us with a look at preparations that are currently underway.
Ariana, good morning. So we are down here in Tampa helping out our sister station WTSP, and as they continue to do hurricane coverage because they just went through Hurricane Helene, now they're going to be going through Hurricane Milton. So where we're located right now is just a few minutes outside of downtown Tampa. To my right, you're going to see downtown Tampa. Right behind me is the Hillsborough Bay, and there are a whole bunch of apartments. The convention center as well is right on top of the water. Over this way to my left is going to be Tampa's main hospital. That hospital has not evacuated because they are prepared with an aqua net that is going to be stopping storm surge from getting into the hospital. Now you have to keep in mind here that people here are saying that this storm just feels different to them. You have people that have lived here for several years that say, you know, typically we never evacuate. This time we chose to do so given the path of the storm. Tampa Bay has not seen a direct hit of a storm in over 100 years. After going through Hurricane Helene less than 2 weeks ago, that is what has made people take this a little bit more serious.
Davis Islands, as far as I know, had never had water basically over the entire island. So it was a shock to a lot of people, and I think a lot of people, you know, didn't leave because they had been here for so long, and it's been 100 years and never happened. So it was tough, it was unexpected. So I think this time everyone is getting out.
Now, that gentleman that we spoke to actually ended up evacuating with his wife probably about 45 minutes inland, so that way he'd be away from the storm surge that his home is expected to see. That area on Davis Islands, right on top of the water, just a few minutes outside of downtown Tampa. And during Hurricane Helene, they ended up experiencing 5 to 6 foot of storm surge. He believes that it could have been more given the fact that he had a foot of water in his garage. In this case, they're expected to see 10 to 15 feet of storm surge. That is going to be potentially catastrophic, and that is exactly why the mayor, you also hear the governor, telling people to evacuate from this area. Where we're located right now is in a mandatory evacuation zone. They are hoping that people heeded that warning. We're live in Tampa. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
Turning now to our Liza Lucas. Liza, Atlanta Motor Speedway already has some evacuees camping out right now, and they do expect more.
Ariana, yes, the Atlanta Motor Speedway has long been a resource for those seeking refuge from storms like Milton, and we've already seen some of those evacuees arrive here on site in Hampton. Families asleep right now, as you can imagine, I'm sure exhausted from their travels. And as mentioned, this site has long been a community partner for those needing a safe place to stay. And we've seen some of these spaces really fill up in the past. Most significantly was Hurricane Irma back in 2017. When there was more than 100 campers here on site. Now, we did have a chance to speak with those who arrived from Florida on Tuesday, including Olivia Richardson and her family. They're taking no chances, she says, when it comes to Milton. She says areas around her home are already on the evacuation list, but she also said she's never seen so many people evacuate. Heed those warnings before. And she noted that I-75 was packed as they made their way to Georgia.
The amount of cars, we couldn't even stop at like a rest area, gas station, because of the amount of people that were in line trying to get through, people running out of gas.
Motor Speedway says that they've had people stay here for as long as a month before, again, hearkening back to 2017 and Hurricane Irma. Olivia obviously hoping for the best, but at this point we're just kind of in a wait and see mode to see what Milton will do. She's going to be watching for flooding around her home, but in the meantime, she really appreciates, she says, the flexibility that the Speedway has offered here and just the southern hospitality that she's seen on the roadways as they kind of move their big rig through all of the traffic and the wall-to-wall cars that they had to deal with yesterday. Live at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Liza Lucas, 11 Alive News.
Thank you, Liza. As we await Milton's landfall, first responders are ready to begin cleanup and recovery efforts. Right now, you're taking a look at video. That's Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. It's been transformed into a shelter for emergency workers. Governor Brian Kemp, he's issued a state of emergency for counties in Milton's path. In South Georgia, he's also extended the state of emergency for counties impacted by Hurricane Helene until October 16th.